What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another update. It's one of those videos I don't like making, but if it helps somebody else, I think it's totally worth it. So we picked up this queen angel, and as you know, as you see, I don't have a lot of coral. A couple mushrooms, some mini carpet anemones, that back one back there, little Monty. I mean, if it takes off, it takes off. That one was kind of a freebie thing. But the reason for the video, as the title says, I didn't know that angelfish ate anemones. So I used to have, you can see I have a green one back, the little green bubble tip. Clowns protect it pretty good. And that hole right there, I used to have that hole right there. I used to have a pretty good size anemone. It was probably about 4 or 5 inches around. Little like rainbow bubble tip. And yeah, he ate it. Also had a green splatter right there next to that the orange mushroom where it just lifted up, and he ate that one. And there was a long tentacle purple anemone right over here on the side of this rock, and he kind of ate that one too. So yeah, I'm down a couple anemones for this guy. Problem is, the wife really likes this fish. We've always wanted one, but I've always had 30 or 40 coral in the tank, and I knew they ate coral, but I did not know they ate anemones. After this started happening, searching for it, I was able to find, yes, they sure do. So what do we do now? I thought about getting rid of him because, we really like the clowns. My wife loves the clownfish, and interacting with the anemones. So what we ended up decided to do, we started thinking about doing a bigger tank, sooner than I want to do. We're planning on moving out of state. We're stuck here in California, so we want to move out of here. I don't really want to move a 200+ gallon tank. So talking with my local fish store, I ended up getting a hold of a Red Sea E170, little 45 gallon. I'm gonna do a little custom sump for the bottom and move the anemones and the clownfish. Let me rephrase. Yeah, I guess you could say anemones. I'm gonna take the carpets out of here too. Yeah, he's a pretty fish. Very pretty fish. Might be one of my favorite color-wise as well. Anyways, yeah, at least take the anemones that are left, move them over to the other tank, and then, yeah, hopefully we're good to go. And the corals that are in this one, like these mushrooms, they're there for just having color. If he ends up eating them, he eats them. So I'm okay with it. They were especially that orange one. That orange one was a little piece of one a couple years ago, and now it's turned into a whole mountain over there. But he's been leaving them alone. He's more interested in arguing with that blue-eyed coal tang right there. So let's go check out the quarantine tank and see what I got in there. Got me a little powder blue hybrid in quarantine. Got another about 8 days. It's at a 2.5 copper level ppm. He's eating really well. Feeding him 2 times a day. Just hopefully he'll get along with the blue-eyed coal tang I have. This one's a little bit bigger. The coal tang is not the sweetest one though. he's ornery for his size. So this is going to be a pretty fish. Pretty fish in the display tank. So yeah, we'll get this other tank going, get everything moved around. That's that blue eye coal tang that I'm worried about with the powder blue. I mean, they're pretty much the same size. This one might be just a hair smaller. Hopefully they get along. If not, I'll take one out and put it in the 45 gallon, as these aren't, you know, these are between 3 and 4 inch long fish. They'll be fine. Again, it's only temporary for a couple years, and then we'll move, and then I'll just build something much bigger, you know, 200-300 gallon, and then call it a day. But yeah, that's the update, really. Those blade lights are still working real good. No complaints with them. Right where that clownfish just came up, there's a little sensor right there, you know, a little par meter for the Neptune. 200, between 170 and 200 par is what I get right there. So, which I mean is kind of a lot, considering this is just the same height, if not just a little higher than that. But the mushrooms dig it, you know, they're doing very well. But yeah, that's kind of the update. I guess, you know, I think that's the best scenario to be able to keep him. You know, they've already gone through quarantine and, you know, everything else, so no sense to, I guess, get rid of him. We'll just buy another tank. Makes sense, right? Logical. Anyways, on that note, hopefully this video will help, you know, somebody else when it comes to, you know, these type of fish. Again, when I searched, I did not find anything about them eating anemones. I didn't specifically search it that way, you know, worded that way. But yeah, afterwards, when you search it worded that way, oh, you find plenty of information. So I was always just worried about coral. Last tanks I've had, I mean, just scullies, and, you know, I've always had kind of a mixed reef, you know, a lot of LPS, a lot of, you know, stuff like that. So I knew it wasn't a mix, you know, they were not a match. But now I thought I was good. I was like, hey, if they eat these mushrooms, you know, he eats them, I'm good with it. Never once did I think he would eat my bubble tip anemones. So, and like I said, for some, I mean, he's left the carpet anemones alone. So let's hope that stays the same for the next week, as I'm picking up that tank on Thursday. So today is Saturday. Got a couple more days in here. But all right, guys, hopefully this helps somebody, you know, and catch y'all on the next one.